Hello there. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to put the chat onto my tablet. I let Revenant sleep. Go. I can do this. It's simple. I just have to figure out where the chat is. Maybe it's under content. And no. Where do I find my chat? Screw this, I'm going straight to YouTube. YouTube's on here. How's everybody doing today? Lasagna is so good. I have to make my own lasagna because a lot of the pretty much all of the pre-made lasagnas have beef or pork in them, and I can't eat beef or pork. And then if I get a vegetarian one, they assume you're trying to be healthy. So it's like low fat, light cheese, all that stuff. And I'm like, no. I want it to be drowning in cheese. I mean, I want it to drown in cheese. What? Glow wits?
No.
Wait, that's the pull on the back, right?
Yeah.
I'm so I assist mermaiding about. She got these really awesome recumbent trikes that are like they're fancy and they go fast. Apparently it's like
15 miles an hour.
apparently it's like pedaling a recliner, but they got the big long flagpoles, and I guess that's called a whip.
A glow whip.
A glow whip.
A glow whip is a specific one. It's a light up one that is really, really bright, and you can see them like a mile away, and you see them on ATV sometimes.
Okay, can I get a video of you guys riding with that at night? Because I just subscribed it to the internet. I now have to show people what I'm talking about. They're very excited. These trikes are freaking cool. All right, I'm trying to figure out how to access my chat. I don't know where my chat is. Sorry, chat. I got this. Let's see. I'm muted. I hear you. Must be you. How have you been? Hi, Lion. Weird. I heard her at first. I don't know. And I refreshed. Gotta love tech. I still hear her. Try sliding the volume up or down. I heard the hello there, and now nothing. Changed volume. Gonna try a different browser by magic. Indeed. All right, hang on. I'm trying to. Wait. Where do I find my chat? Help. Who knows how to navigate YouTube? Oh, maybe here? Maybe here? Is this it? Come on, take me there. Grr. Alright, well, I'll wait for Revenant to be functional to deal with that. I'll just have to keep... Wow, that was an ordeal. I'm sorry, Luna. I had to open up a new browser window. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I'm gonna have to like lean down over the laptop. Before we get started, I hear Revenant's alarm is going off. So that means he needs coffee, and I just poured myself the last cup of coffee, so let's get a new pot started for Revenant. Electric tea kettle. Alright, so we're going to be making a American style lasagna today, which is based off the Southern Italian style lasagna. I believe it's called a Neapolitan style lasagna, whereas the Bolognese style lasagna has bechamel sauce in it. So we're going to be going with the Southern one. Now there's been a lot of discussion, and in Italy there's a lot of argument about who has the original, most authentic lasagna, but it's been noted that although lasagna seems to apply to many layers of pasta with a whole bunch of random stuff in between, from tomato paste and sauce and cheese to I even saw one that had like ground beef and chocolate. So there's a lot of kinds of lasagna, and no one's quite sure what the authentic one is, but mentions of lasagna go as far back as Greece, so it's been around for a while. It's like the tamale. Let's see. That makes no sense. Computers make no sense. The other day I started my computer up, and there's a few apps that open up automatically when you turn on the computer because it's just set up that way. And almost all of them failed to open correctly and were like freaking out. And I tried like closing them and reopening them, and they kept tweaking out. So I restarted my computer, and then everything was fine. And I'm like, did you just like have a stroke during startup? What happened? Computers make no sense. But then again, I mean, I can't even find my chat, so we're not surprised. I can't navigate a computer. All right, so since I want to eat the lasagna, we're going to be working with the is there Reno's? Is it Reno's? Chicken Italian sausage? Because I want I want lasagna drowning in cheese. And then because ain't nobody got money for ricotta cheese, we're going to be working with cottage cheese. You know what the difference between ricotta cheese and ricotta cheese is? Ricotta's been blended, that's it. So we're going to throw some cottage cheese into our food processor to make poor man's ricotta. I'm going to find this. My chat is in here somewhere. Somewhere. Oh, that's way too many options. We're not gonna. I'll break something if I click on any of that. I got nothing. Yeah, no, I can't find chat. So what's everyone else having today? To empty out my French press to prepare it for the new batch of coffee for my husband. Hi. You okay? Oh, that's Revenant's new alarm on his new phone. I'm like, wow, you picked a really, really soft noise that isn't gonna wake anybody up. Is it still going? I can't hear. Wake up! Hang on a second, chat. Babe, you picked the worst alarm ever. Oh, that's a terrible alarm. Okay, I'm back, sorry. I have red grapes. Ooh, red grapes, that sounds delicious. I love grapes. Yeah, Revenant left his phone in an Uber, and the Uber never brought it back. So he had to get a new phone, and he just set it up, and he picked an alarm sound to wake him up that sounds like an ice cream truck, and it's not going to wake anybody up. Give me just a second to get my French press emptied out here. Hot coffee. Yes, I'm using Folgers. I'm poor. Two, three, four, and one more for luck. I'm out of white coffee, unfortunately. Okay, and then I like to put Chinese 5-spice into my French press because it gives it a nice little extra flavor. Boop. Okie-doo. So we're going to go ahead. Whenever you have a recipe you're following, make sure you read the entire recipe all the way through, and I'm just going to double check and make sure I have all of my ingredients. I was going to do homemade lasagna noodles today from scratch, but I decided I didn't have the metal spoon, so we're going with oven-ready noodles, which I like because I don't have to boil those. So we have our lasagna noodles, both regular and gluten-free for the baby bat. We have 4 cups or more of shredded cheese. We have our Parmesan cheese that we're going to be shredding. We have our Italian sausage. We have a basic generic pasta sauce that what we're going to do is we're going to blitz it and add things to it to make it taste good. We have our cottage cheese, which is going to stand in place of ricotta, fresh parsley, and eggs. So we're good. We're ready. Let's go. Let's see. Me too. I got a large bag for $5. Ooh, nice. That is both tragic and funny. Yes. Cheese. Well, it's kind of funny because we had an extra little bit of insurance attached to our cell phone thingy that if a phone was lost for any reason, it would be replaced with the next newest model. We all thought it was going to be me. I'm the least tech literate person out here in the building out of everybody. And I somehow have not lost my earbuds or my phone. So that's actually quite impressive. Of course, now I'm mad because now he has the next newer model. You leave! Hello, Bubblefish. Welcome in. Would you like a sip of my coffee? New coffee's still in the works. There you go, Bubble. Oh, are the trikes coming out? Oh, you guys have fun. Coffee goes here, please. You can have a sip of my coffee, and then I will have more fresh coffee in a minute. I'm gonna have to figure out how to be a goth in the tropics. What does tropical goth clothing look like? Because I'm sticky just wearing 2 layers. Doo-doo. Go. Little bit of coffee in my life. Little bit of go juice keep me right. A little bit of zombies beans in my head. I'm gonna go and change his alarm sound so that he has a sound that's actually jarring to hear. Right, put that there. Now we let our coffee steep. So ideally for a French press, you should let your coffee steep for 4 minutes. But I like my coffee severely over extracted, so we're gonna let it steep for 10. Sip, sip, sip. Alrighty. So first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and prepare our pasta sauce. I like to blend it up so that it's nice and smooth so I don't get random chunks while I'm spreading it out. And then we'll go ahead and prepare our not ricotta. Give me a second, I hear his alarm going off again, chat. Okay, I'm back. All right, so actually let's blend up the ricotta first. Change the alert to a jar sound so you can jarringly alert when your jar alerts you. An excellent choice. All right, so we've got this here food processor thingy. So let's go ahead and prepare our ricotta first, our ricotta mixture. Gotta process it, because ain't nobody got the cash for ricotta cheese. It's a waste of money once you know that you don't need it. All right, so I'm gonna get a big mixing bowl to put things in. Alrighty. Oh, let's also turn on our oven because there's 2 steel plates and a pizza stone in the bottom. So it's gonna have to heat up extra. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, if you want to use cottage cheese in place of ricotta, for pretty much any recipe, you just take an equal amount of cottage cheese to the ricotta and blend it to death. They're virtually indistinguishable from each other in a recipe. Mm. Hang on, where's the little? There you are. Now, did I do all of the dishes before I started? No, I didn't. I was lazy. I left a few over here, and unfortunately, the tiny rubber spatula was one of the dishes that I neglected. It's fine. We're fine. This is fine. Funky chimkin dance. So I'm making enough for technically 2 lasagnas. One small gluten-free lasagna and one extra large lasagna for everyone else. Cottage cheese. Go. Just so I don't have to keep walking over to the trash can. All right. Alrighty. Get all the cheese in here. Cottage cheesies. Bloop. This is perfect weather for like being out biking or hiking, and it's not too sunny, it's not raining yet. Alrighty. put this back in the fridge. All right, and then we just blend this. Yeah, that'll eventually turn into ricotta. Having made most types of white cheese, that's really the only difference between the two. That's pretty much it. All right, large bowl. Remember, every dish you clean while you're cooking is one less dish you have to clean later. All right, so after blending, the cottage cheese will go from being cottage cheese to a smooth paste-like cheese. See? And that can be substituted for regular ricotta, which is exactly what we're going to do. Now, could you do this by hand with a whisk? I imagine, but it'll be an awful lot of work. Pretty much anything you have that'll blend, so a high-powered blender, a food processor, an immersion mixer. I'm pretty sure you could even do this with an electric hand mixer, although it might take a while. But if you got the money for ricotta cheese, go with that. Bloop. There we go. That looks like about 4 cups. It's supposed to be 4 cups for the size I'm making. I was a little sloppy with my measurements, but that's the great thing about lasagna is if your measurements aren't precise, the world isn't going to end. You're still going to get lasagna. Lasagna is one of those glorious catch-all foods. Wee. Do 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 do. Okie do. Now we're going to add a few eggs in. This is going to help everything stabilize. Because if you don't, your lasagna is just going to melt all over the place. Not that melty cheese is a bad thing, but I'm pretty sure you want it to be a, like when you cut it out, to be a casserole type thing and not just a melty puddle of kind of lasagna soup. Right, where's my parsley? Right, I'm going to take a few bits of parsley. And then we're going to rinse it off because we're responsible. Like that. There we go. Bloop. And what we're going to do is we're just going to mince up some of this parsley. Very small and fine. Teeny bit more. Who's still in the chat? All by myself. Right, parsley in. I have no idea what's happening over at the transfer yard. All I know is they're making a lot of noise. Maybe they're doing some construction. Like, I'm used to loud bangs and slamming noises and thumps, and the occasional small explosion. But this sounds like hammers. And there was a jackhammer earlier. So I have no idea what they're doing over there. All right, we got that. What we're going to do is we're going to mix the eggs together with our not ricotta. Glorious cheese, glorious cheese. I love me lasagna. Go. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add Parmesan and mozzarella to this. I'm gonna grab my cheese shredder. Do 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 do. I have acquired my cheese shredder. Alrighty. So when you're shredding something, rather than having your shredder up and down like this and then trying to do that, lay it down flat with the side you want to use facing up and the handle facing towards you, and it will be much easier to shred things without giving yourself a wrist ache or carpal tunnel. And no, that was not medical advice. That was just years of experience in the food service industry advice. Am I just kind of eyeballing this part? Absolutely. Like I said, that's the great thing about lasagna, at least American style lasagnas. Even if you don't get the measurements exactly right, you're still going to end up with lasagna. All right, that'll do for the Parmesan, and then we're going to add some mozzarella. Nom, 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 nom. Little bit of mozzie in my life. I couldn't find the finely shredded, so we had to go with the rustic cut. I'm sure it'll be fine, though. Cheese is cheese at this point. All right, and then we're going to fold our mozzarella and our Parmesan into the ricotta, egg, and parsley mixture. I think we could get a little more mozzarella in there. What do you think, chat? More cheese? Yeah, more cheese. Cheese is the answer. So what? Everything. Absolutely everything. Cheese can solve pretty much any problem. There we go. Perfect. All right, that is ready for its moment. All right, now we need to prepare the ground meat mixture. Oh yeah, I forgot I made my husband coffee. I should probably put that into a cup so he'll wake up. Little bit of coffee in my life. Oops, I spilled. Oh no, coffee. Whatever shall I do? There's a very cozy looking cat outside, and he's just been sitting in the same position in the corner of the yard. It's one of the house cats here, but he's doing that thing where he's just, you know, the position cats get, and he just looks so cozy. Like, I would give anything to be that level of cozy. Alrighty, I need the big wok, or the small wok, because the frying pan is not going to be big enough for the meat and sauce mixture. So we're going to use the wok. Alrighty. Alrighty. I think we should move that camera. Whee! Alrighty, so I'm going to be moving this camera over to the corner over here so y'all can watch. So I'll be, if you get motion sick, now is a good time to look away in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, and we're moving. Go. Alright, we're going to turn this on. And it should be good. About a 7. While that heats up, I'm going to try again to find my chat on here. Why doesn't it let me look at my... Nope, that ain't it. Nope, 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 go away. I'm never gonna be able to find my chat on here. This is silly. I think this is the only thing that Twitch did better. It was very easy to find my active chat. This one makes no sense. Can't find it. It's okay, nobody's talking to me anyway, so we're good. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook our ground Italian sausage here in the pan, and then we're gonna add our tomato sauces. And you don't have to get fancy. You can add your favorite red sauce, or you can go with just a basic red sauce and doctor it up as you see fit, because I have a mountain of spices to work with. So Oh, this should be good. Doesn't look like it has any chunks in it. I picked the right kind. So if you enjoy tomato-based products, such as tomato sauce, but you have acid reflux, a good way to combat that is to introduce a little bit of baking soda into your tomato products while you're cooking them, just a pinch at a time, really small amount, and you stir it in until it stops fizzing. And what that does is the baking soda neutralizes the acid in the tomato and brings out the natural sweetness of the tomato, while also, neutralizing the acid. I do this to products that I make for my husband because he has that really nasty acid reflux, and I don't like hearing him whine about it, so I de-acid my tomato products, and it makes it so he can eat them without suffering. Steals Alice's coffee maker. No, not my coffee, not my French press. This is my French press. Here, you can have this one. Because yes, we are that household. All right, what was I doing? I was doing things. I don't remember what those things are, but I was doing things. Mwahaha. When Revenant finally stops snoring, I'm gonna have him teach me how to put the chat on my phone. All right, I'm gonna put a little oil in here. And yes, I am using a wok for this. They're very convenient. And we're gonna take a little wooden spoon. Alrighty, first one in. Now, this is my favorite brand to buy of store-bought chicken Italian sausage, but you can do other things like you can make your own. There might be a brand you like better, and you can really use any meat of your choosing. So or meat product, or you can completely go without. I don't eat beef and pork for medical reasons, which is why I always have chicken sausage. If you are vegan or vegetarian, you can go the veggie option, or you can use something similar to sofritas, or you can use Impossible Burger or whatever. If you need it to be halal, just make sure that the meat and cheese products are halal as well. There are a lot of different options. If you want to make a low-carb lasagna, you can replace the lasagna noodles with slices of zucchini or squash. And we're just going to cook this until it breaks up into little pieces. Then we're going to add our tomato sauce and flavor balance it until we get what we're looking for. So you want to cook your ground meat until there's no pink left in it. So we've got a little ways to go, but we're almost there. You can put other things into it like chopped onions, vegetables of your choice, spinach. Although if you put spinach in, I recommend placing the spinach in between the layer of meat sauce and lasagna noodles and letting it just cook in the lasagna. I wonder if I could do a fusion between ratatouille and lasagna, because I fairly recently did ratatouille. But it'd be really fun to take Remy's ratatouille and make it a layer in lasagna. Excuse you, get back in the pan. So what I'm doing is I'm chopping these big pieces into smaller pieces and apparently throwing some of it at myself, but that's okay. Into the sink. Right, that's just about done. So we're going to turn the temperature down on that and start adding our tomato sauce. Look at how many ounces this is. Glug, 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 glug. All right, we're just going to stir that in there. Turn it into a nice meat sauce. And then we're going to start doctoring this so it tastes the way we want it to. Oh, I forgot to get fresh basil. That's okay, I have dried basil. It's not as good as fresh basil, but it'll do in a pinch. Let's see. I definitely need one. We had to toss ours when we moved. Ooh, that has to be hard. Hello, Uncommon. Welcome back. How you doing? We are making lasagna again, and we're hoping that the power doesn't go out today. All right, let's see what we're starting with here. Yeah, I definitely need to add a little bit of baking soda to lower the acid level in that. Otherwise, Revenant might perish. Now, I don't want to completely take the acid out, so we're going to go with just a pinch at a time. Remember, this is going to lower the acid level and bring out the natural sweetness in our tomatoes. Oopsie. Don't mind me, I'm just over here making a mess. Go ahead and wipe up that tomato spill. Mhm. All right, now we've tasted again. See where the acid level's at. And remember, if you take out too much of the acid and it doesn't taste right anymore, you can always add a little lemon or a little vinegar, just a tiny bit at a time. A little bit more, but we're almost there. Now the baking soda trick will help with pretty much any tomato-based product for good old-fashioned heartburn. If you have another underlying condition, though, I can't speak as to whether or not it's going to do you any good for that, but for just good old acid reflux, it does help a bit. All right, once your tomato sauce stops fizzing, we can taste it again. Yep, that's better. All right, that's good enough. And I think we are basically ready to build our lasagna. All right, we're going to move this camera back over to this corner. So if you get motion sick, now is a good time to look away in 3, 2, 1, and we're moving. All right, let's go ahead and clear up some space on this counter so we can start assembling our lasagna.
The mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. And now, for the first time, we are bringing to you the full story of what happened on that fateful day. The incidents, the places. My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer. Can your heart stand the shocking facts about grave robbers from out...
All right, so we're going to start with the gluten-free one first for baby bat. And then we'll move on to the large lasagna that's for everyone. So if you don't want to have to boil your lasagna noodles, make sure you're getting the oven-ready kind, because you can just put them straight in. All right, and this is pretty straightforward. You take some of the sauce, just a little bit, make a thin layer on the bottom. More sauce, less meat. This prevents the noodles from sticking to the bottom. All right, then we take our noodles. Go. All right. And now we do layer, once we've got the first layer of sauce, we go with a cheese layer, followed by a sauce layer, followed by another noodle layer. Do you want to build lasagna? It doesn't have to be lasagna. Lasagna does, I mean, technically no, but I like the layers. Alright, so you go ahead and you smooth this out and you spread it around a little. Try and get it pretty even.
Many scientists believe that another world is watching us this moment. We once laughed at the horseless carriage, the airplane, the telephone, the electric light, vitamins, radio, and
Go ahead and grab a little more of that.
and now some of us laugh at outer space.
There we go. Now put another scoop of the good red sauce on it with the meat. Oh, we got our red sauce. And now we do another layer of the noodles. See, I was making... Hey, Frozen was making Frozen reference. Are you okay, Uncommon? You doing good, bud? Give me the noodle. There we go. And then we do more chili sauce. Excuse you. This is going to be the sloppiest of lasagnas ever, and I love it. You know what? Let's also throw in a little extra sprinkle of cheese on this layer for Baby Bat as a treat. Because Baby Bat loves them some cheese. Not too much, just a little extra for them. Missed a spot. Perfect. All right, now we do another layer. I think this will be pretty much the last layer of red sauce. I like to make sure there's enough of the gluten-free leftover lasagna so that Baby Bat can have leftovers later, because they will eat leftover lasagna. They're a feral little gremlin for the the cheese and the red sauce. One more layer. Apparently speech to text for YouTube acts crazy. It do. I was like trying to figure out what was going on there, buddy. Woot. Alright. And for this one, we're going to add one last layer with a little bit of the tomato sauce over it so that these noodles have all the liquid they need. Because they're going to cook right there in the oven. Go. Ooh. Perfect, perfect. Alright. Should be enough sauce. Let's go ahead and add a little cheese on top, and we're going to add more cheese towards the end. There will be more cheese added at the end. This is just to kind of hold everything together during the cooking process. Go. All right. So towards the end of the cooking process, when the tin foil comes off of the top, that's when we're going to add the final layer of cheese and turn the broiler on to brown the top of it so it gets all bubbly and delicious. All right. Put that there. All right, that one's ready, and now we build big one. All right, let's go ahead and remove the gluten-free noodles to their safe zone. Yeet. Lasagna. Alrighty. Lasagna noodles. Perfect. little bit more. Alrighty, and then because I am a godless heathen who loves cheese, I'm gonna throw some more cheese on it. Is this part of the original recipe? Recipe, yes, recipe. Absolutely not. Do I want it? Yes. Right, now we add our next round of meaty cheese sauce. You know what? I'm going to add one more can to this to make the sauce go a little further because I want to make sure that there is enough sauce to cook these noodles.
Wow, your ears would sizzle. 1880.
The great thing about using the pre-made sauces.
For granted today. Perhaps we should.
You didn't hear that.
Incredible that millions and millions of people can talk simultaneously from practically any spot on Earth.
I did mark this stream not for kids. Here we go. Sloop. More sauce. I'm just gonna stir you. Oh, I splashed myself. There we go. Now there's enough sauce to go around. I knew I should have used 3 cans. Now, a large amount of the moisture from the tomato sauce is going to be absorbed into the noodles. So this is not going to be as wet and sloppy as it appears right now.
Then you'd hang up, ring with this crank. Pick it up again, and tell the operator what number you want.
And now for another round of noodles. Yes, I'm breaking my noodles apart for maximum noodle coverage. Maximum noodleage. Boy, think. I'm basically throwing as many layers in here as I can fit.
A picture that you could never see in any other way.
A little bit more. More cheese. Little bit more cheese. I love me some cheese. Go. All right, I think this will be our last layer. Lasagna. Perfect. Haha. No noodle left behind. There we go. Hello, kiddo. Okay. Lasagna, lasagna. Perfect. All right, now I'm going to be dividing this last layer of sauce and making it a bit thinner, putting a top layer of noodle on, and then we're going to put a little more on top of that. And then we're going to close it up and let her cook. Oh, last layer of noodle. I wonder if I could fit 4 across. Let's see. Oh, I might be able to. Where's my next box of lasagna noodle? Perfect. All right. Any sauce that's left is now going on top. Where did my little paper towel go? Okay, I'm home. Welcome home, Uncommon. All right, there we go. And now we're just going to scrape any sauce that's left in here on top of the noodles. And then we're going to foil it, and it's going straight into the oven. How was your day at work, Uncommon? I had a tiny bit of water because I don't know if I had enough sauce, but not much. I want to make sure this layer of lasagna noodles actually cooks. There we go. Little bit of cheese to hold everything. Oh. What is going on here?
Yes, it was. Sure was. But I never heard it played that way before. Well, a good tune can be done anyway. Now, wait a minute. Hold it. Flash. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute.
YouTube is not...
What do you mean? Another tune? Johnson, no. Johnson writes for...
What does that even mean?
To the walls. You got it? Here it is.
Okay, so are you gonna tell me what that means? I love when it tells me what it means. How's the image look on your end, Uncommon? Alright, now I'm gonna put some cheese on the top. Oh no, the end of the bag. It's okay, I've got a whole other bag. No, I didn't work today. I just came back from my tournament. Oh, okay. I see. How'd the tournament go? And also, how's the image on your end? YouTube Studio is like, yo, your thing, it's doing weird things. And I'm like, okay, can I get a little more info? Nope. Alrighty, in the meantime, I gotta get these into the oven. Alright, I'm not gonna put the full layer of cheese on. That will be going on towards the end when I uncover it to broil it at the end to get that nice crispy bubbled and brown layer on the top. Oh. Alrighty, there we go. Now these are going in the oven. For 45 minutes. Alright, well, it looks like YouTube's being a little weird, so I'll have to fidget with my settings, and this ain't doing anything for 45 minutes. So I'm probably going to go ahead and end the stream here for now, and then on shorts later, I'll do the pulling it out of the oven and cutting a nice cheesy slice out of it so y'all can see it. Other than that, everybody have a good night, happy snacking, and may the odds be ever in your flavor.